Stanley Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind. And Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another presentation of the Mystic Racing League in their KAYTEE IndyCar series. This time from the now defunct Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. For this rendition of the California 260. Should be a fun one. All night tonight. There is really nothing like this racetrack anywhere on iRacing that is left. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook, here on V-Speed with cameras presented by Dougie Beard. Appreciate the support from them. Now let's talk about this Auto Club Speedway. Opened back in 1997, 2 miles even, backstretch a little bit higher than the front stretch for the fans' viewing pleasure. Well, at least it was before it became a parking lot, but that's another thing entirely. This racetrack, it may be another oval like we've seen at Texas, like we've seen at Iowa, but this is nothing like either of those racetracks. We will be wide open pretty much the entire time, swapping the lead 2 to 3 times a lap. It is going to be a barn burner from start to finish. It's going to be a lot of fun here. This racetrack, it may seem like it's abrasive for stock cars. You have to really lift and manipulate the throttle. Not an IndyCar. So much downforce, so much speed, pegged at 220 miles an hour, and just trying to go as fast as you possibly can. It's a thrill ride from the first lap. Without further ado, drivers on the grid. Let's see where your favorite driver is going to start the day. Starting on the pole. Mason Mitchum trying to rebound from a rough run last week. John Stellard going to start in second spot. Third for Devin Curl in the 15. Corey Kobe will start in the 4th position. Row 3 belongs to Seven Hawthorne and Adam Holston, 18 and 98 respectively. Zachary King starts in the 7th spot. To his outside, Matthias Bernichez. Matthias Bernichez, apologies. Jaden Walker is going to start 9th. Jonathan Gisheri starts in the 10th spot. 11th for Seth Heyman, Brandon Willard in 12th position. 13th for Noah Hubbard, Christian Barnes rounds out row number 7. 15th for Steven Addison in the 81. Reggie Kime will start in the 16th spot. And your final row belongs to Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini and Devin Lyons, not taking a time for either of those drivers. Still waiting on a few to get to the grid. There are a handful of cars that we are waiting on, including both 2nd and 3rd place starters. Kind of need them to get this thing going. But while we wait, let's have a look at your race analysis. 130 laps ahead of us. Pit road speed limiters are available. You have 4 sets of tires, fuel. That is a very big question mark. Different in the draft versus when you're out front. We're going to pay attention to that one all night long. 2 fast repairs as we've had for every race except for our season opener at Long Beach. And we're on the fixed setup as we've come to expect in the KAYTEE IndyCar series. We now have everyone save the final 2. Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini and Devin Lyons have yet to hit the grid. Everyone else now rolls off of pit lane. Mason Mitchum in a new look. What a paint scheme that is. Hypnotizing. It's a mix of hypnotizing and looks like it can reach out and punch you in the face. We'll see what it looks like ripping around the racetrack at 220 miles an hour. You drivers looking for rebounds after a rough time last week. Mason Mitchum is definitely one of them. Didn't make it to turn 1 before heavy damage and didn't make it a whole lot farther than that. Even with that damage repaired, it was a rough night in the streets of Chicago for a number of these drivers. Remember, field was lapped for the win. And of the, I think, 16 to start, only 7 finished. Something of that nature. It was not a particularly awe-inspiring showing for much of this field. But Auto Club is a place to get it turned around. What better place than right here and right now to show you have the speed to contend for the championship this season. A lot of these drivers have spent time up at the front, whether it be on road courses or on ovals. We haven't had many drivers really struggle all season long in this series. So we're going to go 1 more lap around, 2 more miles before we drop the green flag on the night. This is, in my opinion, a top 3 IndyCar track on iRacing. Some of the best racing I've been a part of and I've seen in IndyCar happens right here. The other 2, if you're curious, Indianapolis, Pocono, my opinion, put on some of the best racing with how you're able to set up runs, set up slingshot moves, and be able to pass out of each of the corners at those respective speedways. You could throw in Iowa as being pretty good. I would be next up on that list, in my opinion. Though it is harder to pass because, of course, if you make a mistake and miss the bottom, you end up wiping 2 cars out instead of just 1. Either way, field 2 by 2. Still missing the 77 of Marcamini and Devin Lyons in the 24. They will not start the race, at least on the grid. They may potentially be in the pits. We might see them later in the show. The other 16, though, ready to rumble. And in just a few hundred yards, the KT IndyCar Series is going to fire up here at Auto Club. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Driver zipping around. Saw Seven Hawthorne make an aggressive move, got blocked. Lost a lot of time. You see that one lift and how much it costs you. A lot of moving and shaking. Your pole sitter is already back to 6th position. Oh, big crash. Brandon Willard. Oh my goodness, caution's out. What a hit for the 22. I think it just got a big wobble. Down in 3 and 4. This thing took off. Oh, clip the apron. Yeah, that'll get it every time. Hit the apron with the left front, pulled him around, tried to save it, and snapped back to the right, drove headfirst into the wall. That was a hard hit. Oh, man. Well, that will be caution number 1 and fast repair number 1 for league owner Brandon Willard. Three laps in to 130. No thoughts of pitting yet. I wouldn't imagine for drivers not wanting to waste any of those 4 sets in the pits. Pretty early to do that. I don't know if tires are going to matter a ton here today, but in case they do, not wise to start burning sets right off the rip like this. So drivers will be keeping those holstered, as if you will. A few drivers on pit road, however. Willard, Stellard, Mitchum, King, Hawthorne, Kime, and Barnes all taking fuel only. Remember, we're not exactly sure where we are on fuel. We don't know exactly how far we can go here tonight, so that is going to be an important move to make sure that you can get to the end. And those extra couple laps, that could be the difference. So we're on board here. Seth Heyman. Can't see what fuel map he's in, but he's rolling gear 6, which tells me he's saving fuel even while we're pacing. I don't think I'm selling any trade secrets or spilling any trade secrets by mentioning that. Brandon Willard is back on the racetrack. In our final row, Marcamini and Lyons decided not to partake this evening. They will be scored 17th and 18th at the end of this one, exactly where they would have started, should, of course, they started the race. Field should be getting ready to restart. I was going to say doubling up, but that's not what we do here. Preposterous. Corey Colby will lead them off. Bernachez, Cherry, Hubbard, Heyman, your top 5. Long green flag runs. This racetrack and this car, they're commonplace. I expect to see Good number of those throughout the day, or at least, a long one, maybe some green flag stops. You really only have issues. I mean, we just saw a single car accident, but usually the issues come from blocking. That's something you just cannot do in this race. Somebody has a run on you, you have to let them take it. And the reason, it's not like in NASCAR where you might not get that run back. That run is coming back to you on the other end of the racetrack. If someone gets a run on you out of 2, you're going to get a run on them back out of 4. Just let the runs go where the runs go. That's how you work around this racetrack in this car. You cannot block. You'll wreck both of you, and even more probably. And you'll get a penalty. You don't want any of those things. Kobe up on the outside wall. Bernichez, Cherry, Hubbard, and Heyman. Your top 5. They're starting to accordion on the top into the zone. And we are racing. Already somehow got 2 wide back there. Oh, we got some. Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's legal. I don't think you can do that. Drivers passing drivers on the bottom. It wasn't a penalty last time, so I'm not sure if we're on NASCAR settings or IndyCar settings. Remember back at Iowa, that was a question of mine. Never did get it answered. Look at this gaggle. This is back just outside the top 10. So we got a battle for the lead. Kobe on the bottom tries to hold off. Oh, we got almost a block there. Hubbard trying to roll through the field in that red nose, white body. Car in 3rd. They fan out topside. As they are driving these cars right now. 7 laps in. See the leader twice on 2 restarts has fallen back quickly. Kobe back to 5th already. Was the leader 2 laps ago. 3 wide for the lead. This is what we came to expect at Auto Club. And where does Zachary King go? We know he's not going to lift for anyone. Hubbard slides up off the bottom. Give the spot to Cherry. Oh, block in front of. Oh my goodness. Hubbard is around. Noah Hubbard has crashed. Caution is out. Caution's out. Miscommunication between the 4 and the 47. Heavy damage to both cars. See this from a higher view. 4's just trying to get back in line. I don't think he quite realized. Yeah, that was an interesting move because we'll see it again here from the halo of the 47. So you're going to see off of turn 2, the 4 of Hubbard looks like he's going to come up and slide right up in front. Stops a lane down. Bernichez in the 47 expected him to come all the way up and reacted to try and go underneath him. But of course, when Hubbard stopped in that middle lane where Bernichez didn't expect him to be, drove into the back of him, spun him out. Big damage to both cars. And somehow Meatball for Reggie Kime. Don't know how that happened. See if we can. He's got rear end damage. See if we can find that. Oh, he just crashed on his own. Looks like. Oh, he got help from. Oh, he got big time help from Steven Addison. Surprisingly, Addison no damage. Yep, it just worked itself out. Now we're pitting. I think drivers realizing fuel mileage is going to be important if we continue to rack up cautions. Matthias Ezekiel Marcamini has entered the race. Will be 7-8 laps down now in 17th spot. But again, at the rate we're having cautions, there's a chance. We have a driver spun around on pit road. That is none other than Christian Barnes. What happened to Barnes? Get some help, perhaps? Catching Holston, getting caught by King, and just spun on his own. All right. Sounds good. Barnes is gone and away. Hubbard and Kime still on pit road. I think Kime just got to pit road. Should be taking fast repairs for both of those cars, I would imagine. Only driver not on the lead lap would be Marcamini. Hubbard's still sitting in the stall. Probably will go a lap down. Kime, I'm not sure. There we go. Now he's leaving the pit box. Going to be close. He will make it back out. So move Kime up to 15th. Hubbard's going to stay in the 16th spot. Must not have clicked on the fast repair. So that, unfortunately, will probably cost him a few laps. Which the real loser out of that is Marcamini, who will not get the any waiver rounds or passes or anything because, of course, not the first car lap down. So I'm not sure if that rule applies here in IndyCar. Not sure. I also thought you couldn't pass to the left and under a restart, but clearly I'm wrong about that too. So I'm not sure. I guess we're going to find out. Just under 10% of the way through this one. 11 of 130 up on the board. Kasheri, Heyman, Kobe, Hawthorne, Holston, King, Stellard, Bernachez, Mitchum, and Walker are your top 10. Pace car will run the middle lane down in 3 and 4. Leader's going to start moving up to the high side here, protect the outside lane. As Walker falling back now. Jaden Walker with an issue of some sort. Maybe catch up with him in a minute. Now catching up to the field. Should be able to get there in time. Oh, we are back. Pace lights on the pace car. Something happened to Walker that triggered a caution. Oh, spun out. How does one spin under pacing? I wonder. Potentially contact with Mitchum. Potentially contact, I think that's Curl behind him. So far, nothing. A lot of rear brake. Hit the brakes to try and avoid running into the back of Mitchum, and much like Barnes, it just went around. It is one of those days, it seems. Working off turn 2, pace lights out again on the pace car. When we get back racing, we will be working lap number 13 of 130. Hubbard still on pit road. Is going to go a third lap down when they get back to the stripe. Walker is now the final driver in the lead lap back in 15th after the spin under pacing. 3 drivers have yet to hit pit road. Kacheri, Heyman, and Kobe. Everyone else was on pit road just 2 laps ago. Let's try one more time to get this thing restarted. For those of you wondering, this is our second caution of the day with 2 lead changes. A nice 92-degree track temp. Beautiful day in Southern California. Into the start zone. Driver's trying to jump it. Didn't time it right. Hawthorne timed that one up nicely. Both Walker and Barnes with black flags. They got cleared. Oh, biggie slide for Heyman. Not the first time I've said that this year. Trying to bump draft on the backstretch. That is not going to work. I can tell you that with great certainty. That white line has been treacherous all day. Anyone who dares touch it finds themselves in a bit of a slidey situation. King goes for the pass on Hawthorne. That is the best battle at the moment. King went for it on the bottom, could not get there. Momentum important to run the high side to keep it. Obviously, bottom side, shorter way around. With the slide job, you can get the job done. Now King's going to try bottom to top, wash out on the exit. Now under fire from Holston. He's got a hot rod here today. Will peak high. Can he roll around the outside of King? King's going to slide up in front of him. Wash the air across his nose. Didn't make a difference, though. Holston to the inside. It looks like you want to protect bottom if you're the car in front. Holston got his nose chopped. Dirty air now under attack from Stellard. As Heyman is going to get that lap led on Gacheri. These two scrapping a little bit. Oh, he's not going to be clear. No, he's not clear. Allows that Kyle Busch-inspired number 8 to roll the high side and go get the spot. Oh, Heyman, big time push from the arrow. Corey Colby up into the battle. Is going to box in the 30 and look for a move down on the bottom. 3 wide almost for the lead. 2 wide now. Colby with a nose ahead. Gacheri's going to slip off the corner. Where does Heyman go? High side for now. Move Colby back to 3rd, and here comes Hawthorne. Kings wants to join the battle as well. It's a party up at the front. Heyman peeks outside. Hawthorne, huge run, had to lift. Didn't want to go elevator move. Let's see. Heyman sets up for the exit, gets a monster run. Where's he go with it? Down to the bottom, can he clear? Slide job, yes, for the moment he will clear. Does the 8 get back to him? Also, yes. That's how easy it is to regain a spot should you lose it, especially up front. A little further back, it's more difficult with the dirty air. Almost had 4 wide if King could have made it stick. Slides back up in front of Holston. Top 5 under a blanket. Curl wants to join the fray. Right now, you're just looking for a lane to run in without a car in it. Get a little air on the nose. Oh, almost contact. King and Hawthorne. 2 drivers that we've seen not give an inch to anybody through the middle. Hawthorne. With teammate Gacheri stuck on the outside. Big lift for the 51. King just about washed up into the side of the 8th. No harm, no foul, however. Gacheri back to the bottom. Big time slide job. Drove the thing in a ton. Hawthorne, I think, let him have it. As we single file out for a lot of the field. Now Hawthorne makes his move. King still cannot crack the top 2. Now down to the bottom. See if it works this time. Not so fast. Might be able to get 2nd, but will not get the lead. Crossover for 2nd. Blocked in. He's got nowhere to go. Contact! Hit Gacheri. Hit Hawthorne. That car is going to be evil until it gets that front wing fixed. He took on the teammates, and the teammates showed him they're not to be trifled with. We will catch up with King later when he gets a nose back on, and it's going to be a struggle for a while. Cherry's got the lead again. Hawthorne on the outside. Heyman trying to peek around the 18. 18's wobbling a little bit. A little bit loose. Not really loose, just unstable, really. So the back end bouncing. Is Curl with a monster run down the straightaway. Bernachez, after the damage, back up into the top 5 as well, and Holston still hanging around in 6th. Holston just had a moment. Bernachez. Car behind him, that's Marcamini. The 8th lap down driver trying to get one back the old-fashioned way. As Curl makes his attempt for the lead. Heyman washes up. Curl has the run, late exit, should get there. 3 wide move for the lead. And the 8 disappears. That's not good. Where'd he go? There he is. And he's back. Scary sights. Your second. They don't know where the leader went. Curl got that one again. Top. Oh, Hawthorne up in the fence. Tried for the aggressive move, was not space for it. They brought the whole field into play here. Everyone back to Mitchum in 10th is in this group, including Marcamini. Rest of the field way behind. Saw King at the back of the shot, of course, missing half the nose. Walker, Addison, Willard, Hubbard, all well off the pace. Hubbard's off pit road now, 4 laps down. Might get one of those laps back here if we keep racing like this. Oh, almost contact. Heyman slid up the hill. Goodness gracious. The moves we're making here are just so aggressive and so calculated. If you miss by an inch, you're going to take somebody out. But how do you defend? It's all about lane choice. Curl dives it down to the bottom. Sherry's going to have the run on the top. Curl will take the spot for now, but there's the crossover back. Momentum wins in this situation. Heyman to the middle. That hurt Gasheri. 8 should still be able to get the spot back. Oh, it's going to be tight on the exit. 30 angles it down the racetrack. He will get the spot at the line. And then Curl's going to be the middle point in a 5 on a die here in a minute. Almost got boxed in every direction. We're going to continue to see lead changes for 2nd through 10th pretty much every lap. I think the only driver really taking it easy right now is Mason Mitchum. It's right on board. A little bit of a lift, too. Down to 4th. Back up to 5th, and then 6th for the top end. I think Mitchum right now is just kind of biding his time, maybe trying to save a little bit of fuel, perhaps. This is likely going to turn into a fuel mileage race. Heyman and Curl continue to battle it out for 2nd. Trying to split the leader, not quite enough. Easy clear for Curl, although they'll give that back. By the time we get down to 3, look at the run the middle high side gets. You just lose all the momentum. You hit that wall, so to speak. As Heyman had to make an evasive maneuver, that's going to give Curl another shot at it. He's got Heyman in the middle. Hawthorne, apologies, in the middle. 4 wide for a moment. Bernachez on the bottom. Curl slid up the hill, almost into Hawthorne, was able to bring it back down. Yeah, all these drivers are just working incredibly hard. You want to be the dominant car here today, but it's going to be difficult to do so as Curl falls back a little bit to regroup. Hard to be the dominant car in a race where you're going to swap the lead almost every lap. Already 10 lead changes in 32 laps. That's just at start-finish line too, folks. Does not include what we see here all the way around the racetrack. Oh, almost contact. Heyman into Hawthorne. Somehow they stay off each other. Bernachez to the point over Gasheri. Will slide up. Hawthorne will have a massive run. Nowhere to go with it. Gasheri back to the bottom. And back to the point, at least for now. Oh, and leader disappeared. Where'd he go? There's the 8. They all fan out to the top of the racetrack. Tires starting to wear here. And I think if you're the 8, if you're the 30, and King was the other one. Gasheri, Heyman, and Kobe, who did not pit yet in this race. You're probably struggling for grip right now a little bit. Gasheri won't be so bad because he has the clean air, but everybody else going to be in a bit of a pickle when it comes to having tires on this thing. Well, 10 laps older than everybody else is. Also good barometer for how far you can go on fuel. I imagine it's another probably 5 to 10 laps, but I can't guarantee that. But the 8 should be the first one down pit road, considering he's led so much and has not pit yet. Hawthorne through the middle. Another 3-wide move, another 3-wide move completion. Door to door. Two cars that look fairly similar. Here comes Gasheri back. Oh, big block for Hawthorne. First time we've seen a driver block today. Not sure if that will go over well later in the race. Of course, it only takes one bad block to ruin a bunch of guys' days here. Another 3-wide move. The runs these drivers are getting as Holston joins the fray. And the ability to be able to stay off each other has also just been really, really impressive. Top 10. Very quickly, a top 10 run through, if you will. A few drivers just biding their time to make noise. Oh my goodness, what a move. Hawthorne and Gasheri. Be a little frustrated if I was the 8. About used up by my teammate in turn 2. Not even 40 laps in yet. There's the pit stop. Aggressive in the box. See where the 8 cycles out. Hawthorne now to the point. I expect to see Heyman on pit road this time. Possibly another lap. Tells me the fuel number is probably closer to 35 than it is to 40. Heyman will not pit here. Stuck on the outside. How about Kobe? No, Kobe saved enough. Rest of the field, I'm imagining 5 to 8 laps to pit. For everybody else, they weren't off sequence by that far. This is one of the few times I would really love to get on their track and drive the IndyCar. Dallara IR18. Bad fast at this racetrack, and just a lot of fun to be able to manipulate the air, work the lines. Is near 4 wide as Holston had a shot at the lead. Quickly gave it back. Still not seeing Heyman pit. Heyman working the very top of the racetrack has got to be near fumes. He's been on the racetrack for 41 laps here. Sherry is on and off of pit road cleanly. Trying to chase down, I believe, Brandon Willard's in front of him. Was Richard Kime the next driver? Sherry will see. King lost a lot of time just now exiting turn 4, whereas Gasheri is exiting turn 2, so about half a lap. As Heyman will hit pit road. There's Heyman. One driver left to pit, it's Corey Kobe. When do we see the 86 bring it on down? I would guess this time by. A little high on the racetrack for that. Battling for the lead has. Oh, there's a wreck in front of the field. That was Noah Hubbard. Oh my goodness, what happened? Right in front of the leaders. Zachary King. Hubbard with a meatball flag again. Remember, Hubbard 5 laps down from not using the fast repair before. Oh, he clipped. Oh man. What a violent hit. He clipped the apron, and it pulled the car around. Hopefully you didn't have a big lunch, folks, because you might lose it here. Watch this hit. And boom. And then Holston. Fast as a rocket. Wow. Black flag for Holston did get cleared for unsafe pit exit, of course. But yeah, that was a big knock. Oh, man. Field catches up to the pace car. 45 laps into 130. Should see everybody hit pit road here. With the exception of Heyman, who should get a lap back to get back on sequence with everybody else. You might see Gasheri pit, although also a lap down. Probably will stay out to get a wave around. That would be about it. Should see many drivers bring it down pit road. There are the leaders. Orcamini stays out, try and get one of the laps back. A few others also on the racetrack. Sherry, Heyman, King, the drivers we expect to stay out, they all stay out. They should all get their laps back here. Yep, they all got their laps back. Yeah, Hubbard with that big hit. Bernachez, Barnes, Mitchum, Holston, Curl, your top 5 off pit road. We'll now see 15 on the lead lap, all the way back to Zachary King, who after getting the front wing knocked off, is back in business. We'll take a quick step aside. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back here on V-Speed with the GC Spider side by side.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
GC Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Back here on V-Speed. 47 laps into 130 at Auto Club California. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook, with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Been a good one so far. 3 cautions, 13 lead changes. Had a rough start to the race, but just finished a very long 30-lap green flag run, which saw many, many drivers lead laps, battle for the lead, make aggressive moves. A few drivers have gotten damaged and had them repaired. Hubbard has crashed twice. So the first caution brought up by Brandon Willers up to 7th spot. Zachary King had issues, now back on the racetrack. Pace car is in. Field will accordion back up to the main group as Bernachez waits for the start. A long time in launches. And that, I don't know if that's going to be legal a little further back. I mean, I say that every time because in normal and iRacing officials, that is a very illegal move. Clearly, they're clearing black flags here. I'm not really sure why. Either way, Barnes for the first time today battles for the lead. Holston had a crack at it once, quickly gave it back up. Barnes going to close the door up on the top side. Here comes the run from Holston. As we approach lap 50, next pit stop, I would imagine, right around lap 80. So far, on all the restarts we've seen, the leader has dropped back 4 or 5 positions. Bernachez has been the first one to be able to keep it up at the front at the end of the first lap. And Hawthorne, in the middle of the pack, up to the top 2. Hit the apron, did the 18, wobbled a little bit up the racetrack. That line does not have much grip on it. Battle is on for second. Holston on the bottom. Hawthorne up top. Holston slides up the racetrack. Hawthorne will take that spot away. Is that Reggie Kime? Up in the top few. And how about Noah Hubbard? Showing that 7-lap down car still has speed in it. We had a one-person highlight reel here in 7 Hawthorne. This car has been all over the racetrack. Not afraid to be aggressive. Wheel to wheel with Bernachez down the front stretch. Should get the run off the corner. Barnes makes a move. 7 makes a move. 7 will dive down into the corner. Slide up, and here comes the run back for the 47. At the line, Hawthorne. Now Holston. Hyper-aggressive move. Down to the bottom, just not enough to get it done. It really hurt Hawthorne more than anything. Didn't allow Hawthorne to do his normal line. Everyone bobs and weaves down the backstretch. King back up in the race in 6th position. See what the driver sees. Still keeping it in 5th. And it wound all the way up. Into 4th. Nobody saving anything up here. Will that be their undoing? Big aggressive move here through the middle. And King for the moment to the lead. Appreciate the driver cam from Zachary King as always. Somebody just pounded the wall. I think that was Jaden Walker. Big piece of the outside retaining wall. A few drivers got to bide in their time right now. Mitchum, Curl, Kobe. Hanging out the back of this pack. They don't want to get too racy up there. No, no, no. Still lots of time left in this one. I think these three could find a way to fuel mileage this thing out. I don't know exactly what the numbers look like right now, but I imagine, as I mentioned that last pit stop around lap 80, somebody just caught the wall. I think it was Gutierrez. And if the next stop is at lap 80, cut it roughly halfway, maybe 85, cut it roughly halfway to the end after that lap 80-ish pit stop. So I'm not sure if the fuel save gets you anything other than a faster pit stop if we get under green. You just got to make sure you stay in touch with this lead group as King takes the lead outright on the backstretch. We'll now give it back up to Bernachez. Near 4 wide. 3 of them lined up on the bottom, and Hubbard up top. Remember, Hubbard not 4 position. Hubbard is a lap down. 7 of them, in fact, trying to get the spots back. Mark Amini is now off the racetrack again. Has been for a couple minutes. Let's see what Seth Heyman sees. This is an interesting look. See, the sun is just in a bad spot down the back. Hard to gain any ground when everyone's running the high side with you. Oh, big check up there. Something happened to Hubbard. Had to check up. Oh my goodness. Brandon Willard with a sail off into turn 1. Gonna lose a couple spots for that effort. Is up front. These drivers are not messing around. Closing in on halfway throughout this one. Oh, King can't block in these cars. Oh, contact! Into the door of Matthias. Top 6 under a blanket. Bit of a gap. Back to the 8th of Gutierrez, who was just biding his time. It's almost like you're trying to play the lanes like you would at Daytona or Talladega in a NASCAR Cup car. Of course, not the case here. 3 wide behind him for second. Heyman, Holston, Hawthorne. Heyman going to get that spot outright. Oh, we got an issue. Is that again? Noah Hubbard, it is. Wrong place, wrong time. Here's what happened. Following behind King, King had a bit of a moment. And Hawthorne got right, or no, I think it was Heyman actually had a bit of a moment. That destroys Hubbard's car once more. Yeah, clearly has some sort of issue. No meatball flag here, so it's drivable. It's maybe just not the best driving car out there anymore. Started with King slipping up a little bit. Had Heyman avoid, try and make an aggressive move to the top side, and obviously that's where Hubbard got in the back of him. Clearly an issue, too, for Hubbard. He's down on pit road here. I don't advocate for anybody to quit a race, but like Hubbard may be feeling that here. He's had a rough little while here in this series. Bernachez makes the move. Will take the spot back for now. King to the bottom will lead at the line. Yes, just barely got him at the line. King fights back. It's now Hawthorne on the outside, and Holston's still hanging around. That clay-colored car reminds me of Albuquerque for some reason. Oh, he lost the nose! Aggressive. Did he get it back? It's back. Oh, boy, that would have been a heartbreaker for Holston. King to his outside. Still going to be there. It's down the back. King gets the spot. Here comes Hawthorne. Massive run. Hawthorne to lift for it. Nowhere to take that run as we are officially halfway this time by. How about it? Fun one so far. 3 wides, tight in the middle, contact. That was ill-advised, to say the least. Holston got the worst out of it. Still no damage. Oh, there's more contact. Holston definitely got the worst out of this one. Hard hit to the inside wall. Tire just went airborne. No caution. Tires bounce. There's the tire bouncing around. We kind of saw this one unfolding. Different look at it. There's that move from Gasheri. Bounced off both cars on his way through. Then I think it was Heyman trying to cross over. Didn't realize where the 98 was and just doored him. Spotted him. Oh, and he hit the tires. Oh, man. That's going to put a serious damper on the day of the 98. See it finally make it down pit road. As Gasheri's trying to find a spot in line. Reggie Kime just got around him. Kime time for the first time tonight. Haven't seen a lot of Reggie. Only time we saw him was when he had the incident on the back with that first caution. Second caution, I should say. 47. Oh, King working with Hawthorne. Very aggressive. Holston, black flag off pit road. Let that limiter go too soon, I bet. There's Holston exiting. Only driver 1 lap down who's still on the racetrack. Hubbard has retired, in fact. Walker now 2 laps down for Holston. Walker about 5 seconds back of the leader, still on the lead lap. These cars fly around here. Heyman, bit of a moment up in the wall. Willard just going to check out how dirty it is below the apron. It's pretty dirty down there. Probably wouldn't want to race down there. King hitting pit road here. Strategy call. Oh, no, he didn't pit last time. Remember, wave around. Was hoping for a caution, didn't get it. It will still probably cycle out for him, or he'll be okay. He's just going to have to hope that no caution comes out while he's on pit road. That would be disastrous. teammates Hawthorne Gasheri, pair of Kyle Busch fans. And Bernashevs, who will not go away. Big clear for the 47. Gonna try and snake down the backstretch. Kime gonna work around Heyman with that move. Heyman back now to 5th position. Next driver to pit's probably gonna be Heyman. Remember, also on that wave around strategy, but it was only offset by 2 laps or 3 laps rather than the 10 or so that we saw the 51. The 3 will converge on the exit. Somebody had an issue off pit road. Someone has crashed. Is it Zachary King? No, it was not Zachary King. Someone had an issue on the back, but I don't know who it was. Long stop for Holston. Almost a minute on pit road for the 98. 4 cars, 3 wide. As Kime, oh, he lost the nose big time in the 9. Might add a little bit of nervousness to the drivers around him, being he hasn't been up here yet and really experienced what these cars do in the mix of dirty and cleaner. See how tight he gets on the door of the 30? That was not intentional, just washes up the racetrack. I would be very, very cautious of being on the outside of the 9 right now. Here we go again. And just right there, that car just pushes up the hill. Another deep dive down there for the 9. Will slide up. Oh, he's not clear. Not even close to clear. 30 got lucky with the net code there, but that was ill-advised, to say the least. You got to do way better. Caution's out. Willard again. Working behind Addison. Yeah, just caught the apron again, same spot as last time. This time, instead of nosing it into the fence, just had this big old slide. Once again, should see the entirety of the field hit pit road, with the exception of Zachary King. Now, the good news for King is that he is only going to be offset by 4 laps this time, which should put him essentially back to where he was. Willard on pit road now, of course, fixing that damage, or fixing, the tires and all that after the slide. Should see 47 to 18 to 30 to 9, everyone on pit road here. We stay out, really. No, we do hit pit road. Okay, I was going to say, that is uber aggressive to stay out there. Roughly 55 laps to go. That was King getting his spot back on the lead lap. Be 14th. Holston 3 down. Hubbard and Marcamini have retired from the session. First one off pit road. Bernashez. I feel like we're going to see the cream rise to the top here in just a few minutes. A few drivers we haven't really talked about all night. How about your pole sitter? Mason Mitchum, second place starter. John Stellard, a couple teammates. Corey Kobe, Devin Curl, Christian Barnes. Drivers we haven't really seen up at the front, but we typically talk about a lot in these Mystic Racing League races. Biding their time right now, just waiting for the carnage to play out and then I'm sure they'll make a push for it later in the race. So we're now past halfway. Pay window starting to creep open. Still at least one more pit stop. From here, it looks like it's going to be around lap 110, maybe 115, that area. Setting up a nice little dash for the end of this one. Cautions, of course, notwithstanding. 98 will get a wave around. Go back to 3 down. King already got his. Working around the racetrack now. Stellard back down pit road. So is Mitchum. I think those teammates have something cooking right now with the strategy. I always loved a good double pit on these bigger racetracks for fuel mileage purposes. Just made a lot of sense to me. Why would I give up that advantage? I'm already gonna, if I don't want to run up at the front, I don't want to be duking it out with the leaders. Why would I not pit twice to already cycle myself to the back and then just avoid whatever chaos happens in front of me? It's really a veteran move, I think, to be able to do that and be able to do it well. Pick your spots on the strategy and try and maximize the difference. That one lap, it might not come down to anything, but if that one lap is the difference between winning and losing the race, not having to pit and having to pit, you're going to feel like a genius for doing the double stop, or you're going to feel awfully silly if you're going to stay at the back anyway and still elect to not do the double stop. We'll have completed 78 when we get back to the line, working on 79. Up against the retaining wall. Now that one should be illegal. Kime up to the point for the first time today. At the line, he got that lap lead. And Heyman through the middle, contact with Kime. Kime lost the nose. Gasheri got doored up out of the way. Caution is out. Stellard, I believe. Yeah, lost the nose. That's where the caution was. Bunch of drivers in it. Addison, Willard, and Holston. So there's Willard. I think he's the one in front of this group. Oh, contact right there. And I don't know what happened. Oh, my goodness. Wild ride for Stellar. What happened with them? From the halo. Gonna see the crash up in front. Willard just up into the side of Holston for no good reason. Oh my goodness. Up and over. What a hit. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looked like Addison just came up the racetrack and didn't realize that Stellard was there, and obviously they both were involved in the accident. So Addison, Willard, Holston, all with the meatball flags, all going to have to fix those cars. Stellard as well will have to fix it. No meatball required. Probably going to need a fast repair, though, to get this thing back right, considering he's missing the entire nose piece. Heyman leads with probable damage from Kime. I don't know if he got that much damage or not. Looks okay. Kime, though, will bring it on down. Remember, talked about fuel mileage a few laps ago. 4 laps is a big deal in a race like this, the way it's playing out. Lot of the field choosing to pit here. Top 5 stay out. That's going to put Jaden Walker in his highest position today. Heyman, Hawthorne, Kasheri, Barnes, Walker stay out. Mitchum, Kobe, and everybody else on the pit lane. See if we can maybe chat with the driver since we have a moment. Are the lights on the pace car, off the pace car? I can't tell. Lights are still on. We're going to quickly interview our race leader, Seth Heyman. Seth, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
All right. Well, leading the race here. 5 laps led so far today. It's been a wild one out there. Just had some contact with Khan. You survived. What's going to take to win this race, and how much fun you having out there?
This is very fun. I feel like it's going to come down to luck, just like a Daytona, Talladega race in NASCAR.
What's it going to take for you to get the win here? You mentioned luck, but what can you do from behind the seat other than just clutching the rabbit's paw, so to speak?
I think coming out of turn 4 on that white flag, you're definitely going to want to be second or third to make that move 3 wide for the win.
Yeah, it's been hyper aggressive out there. Before we put you back down in your Bad Badger Racing chat, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for what has been a very exciting race at Auto Club so far?
I'd like to thank both my teammates, Seven and Jonathan, getting me up here up front with the setup.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, Seth, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Your leader, Seth Heyman, clearly focused up. Getting ready to pounce again on the restart. Drivers on the racetrack. Your top 12 all on the lead lap. That's Heyman all the way back to Stellard now. Holston and Willard both 3 laps off the pace. So they're still racing against each other for what would be 14th. Hubbard and Marcamini are still off the racetrack and will not return. Under 50 laps to go. 1 pit stop still in the cards. Pace car is off. Heyman gets a great jump. First time today we have not seen Seven side by side with the driver at the start finish line. How about 3 wide behind him? Kobe just gets out of the way, says, I don't think so, as we have a move to the top side. Bunch of yellow cars trying to make some hay up at the front. But Christian Barnes, for the first time today, will lead a corner. Won't get the lap led, though. Gasheri's going to get him back at the line. Where does Hawthorne go? To the bottom this time. How about Zachary King out of nowhere? Back up in the top 6. Car's been fast all night. This is a racetrack and a race that really rewards the aggressive drivers. Conservative doesn't get you a lot in terms of flashiness up at the front of the field, as big moments going to end up going from the bottom of 3 wide to the middle of 3 wide after the crossovers. It doesn't get you flashiness up at the front. Drivers aren't going to remember you were up there. Conservative, I mean. What it does get you potentially is if you're in a spot like, again, back here, Kobe, Curl, Mitchum, even Addison, you potentially find yourself in a better fuel number, better fuel situation, better tires, all that. to be able to go up there later and potentially steal this one. That's the hope anyway. This 3 wide off of turn 4. You can go 4 wide here if you're careful, but you got to be very, very careful. Let's look at the run we're getting, the second group. Once again. Oh my goodness. King just chopped with a sledge the nose off of the 47. Must have a guillotine in that car somewhere. Goodness gracious. King leads that lap. 3 wide behind him, now 3 wide with him. Almost 4 wide. Oh, we got contact. Kime again. I don't know if Kime has a poor internet connection or if he just can't quite see around the visor, but he's been up against a lot of other cars tonight. I think that's still a place you got to watch. Big slide at the racetrack for the 47. Barnes to the bottom. Trying to slice through traffic. Hot knife through butter. Where do you go from here? Faked high. Hawthorne blocked it. No momentum at the moment for Barnes. Here it comes. Look at how quick that run develops. Again, where do you go? You want the top to get the run. Do you dare diamond the exit? Try and chop off the exit to get the straight line? You'll get alongside Hawthorne and maybe try up the middle. Yeah, it's there. Almost contact with the 8. Had to lift. King now on the outside. 8's really dropping. 8 got split. Had a bobble. Will lose a bunch of ground here. Here comes Hawthorne. Here comes Kime as well. Oh, wow, what a move. Kime's going to get him in the corner. And then finish him off. Goodness gracious. Gonna put a bell on that 9 car. As the front quintet. Still trying to sort it out. Oh, hit the apron for the 30. Where does King go? Remember, King lost the nose earlier. They're going to be 4 wide. He spooks the 47. Near 4 wide for a moment. Bring Barnes back through the field. A few drivers kind of getting worried, I think, getting scared a little bit of some of the players up front, how aggressive they're willing to be. 7 off the bottom, almost clipped King. Wow, that was close. King blocks the bottom again. Not a good move to make. If you block, you're probably not bringing the car back. Tyus also blocking. And Barnes to the top. Where does Heyman go? Follows for now. Slide job. Yes. King had to lift. Barnes picks up right where King left off on the bottom. Trying to work around that 47. Barnes will get it done for the moment. Off of 4. King slides up again. Can he get the run this time? Again blocks the 47. Those two might be having words after the race. Not many times you can fit 7 cars in the frame and you're not at Daytona or Talladega or under pacing. Oh, Barnes put the moves on King that time. King's laughing about it in the driver cam. Little razzle-dazzle from the 27. King still leads at the line. Heyman nowhere to go. Momentum on the bottom. King again blocks. I think one of those times somebody's going to have something to say about that block and make a big move. There's a slingshot down to the bottom of turn number 3. Gonna wrap that white line, touched it, slid up the racetrack, no bobble. Single file, at least for a moment. 7 dives down. King dives down. Heyman's gonna try and dive down as well. Here comes Hawthorne. Probably the one driver you don't want to see in second. Getting down to the end of this is going to be Hawthorne. We know Hawthorne will make a very aggressive move. Probably an indefensible one. Bernachez to the point now. Still, you have Kime, Walker, Curl, Mitchum, and Stellar just biding their time. As these 5 or 6 get a little crazy, now Kime up in this battle. As they get a little bit crazy, everyone else just mellow, breathing, letting it happen. Barnes will just sail it off in there. You can do that a lot better in 3 and 4 because you don't have the sharp exit. Oh, contact again. Kime in the door of somebody else tonight. Should have a Kime counter in this one. I think he's up to about a dozen now. Oh, King dumped air on Bernachez. Bernachez up the racetrack and lose a bunch of time here. There goes Heyman by. Kime again tight on the bottom. Has some of the freshest tires in the field. 16 laps on them. Sun's starting to set. This is probably the furthest back we've seen 4th all day. Still great battles for the lead. Track's starting to grip up here. Look at the weather. Remember, it was 92 earlier, down now to 86. So bottom's going to start to get better and better and better. More grip down there. Be even more aggressive with some of the moves. Better be careful. Barnes is there. 30 more laps. Oh, they're on the apron and King gets shoved down below the line. Kept the nose. Lost 0 positions. I really don't know how he saved that car. That thing was dead to rights into the inside wall like we saw Holston earlier. King gonna remember that one, I think. Oh, he hit him in the tires. Just squared him up. Tire to tire. My goodness, what a bold move that was. What does the 47 do? Oh, we got a big wreck behind him. Walker, Mitchum, and Holston. No caution. Down below the apron, that's going to put a meatball flag on all 3 of those guys. I think it started off with Holston again. Holston behind Curl. Get clipped by Walker. Yeah, clipped by Walker right there. Then more contact right there. And Mitchum trying to avoid it. Just, oh man, those are big hits. Wow. Holston not having a good day. We got to be getting close to that final pit stop. Then the next 10 laps or so should see drivers bring it on down. If it's under green, that could be what determines the race. Yeah, the yellows if they're by iRacing, which I'm pretty sure they are tonight, won't come out if you're below the apron, no matter how many people there are. That was so far off the racing surface that it doesn't really affect anything other than, of course, those 2 drivers' races. So, yeah, it's kind of frustrating if you're involved in it. But if you're one of these guys up here, you really pay it no mind because it didn't impact you at all. One of those little inconsistencies that kind of frustrating a track like this where you have such a big runoff area. Same thing with the front stretch, right? If you crash down in the grass and you stay there, no caution. Usually. Sometimes you'll get one triggered, but not very often. Bernachez slips up, going to fall back from 2nd to 5th in that one corner. Barnes and King can try to control the race. 3 wide through the middle, behind him. Oh, another one for Kai. Make that a baker's dozen. Holy cow. Someone get that guy some training wheels. Barnes now to the point. King in 2nd. Hawthorne, elevator to the bottom below the apron. Can he make the corner? He will clear for the lead. Yes. Where does King go? Shows high, drives to the bottom as you expect. King will now clear into 1. Take the high line, take the air away. Can Barnes stay alongside? 7 off the corner for a moment. Not going to be enough to keep King at bay. Did King just lift? Because look at Gasheri. What a move. I feel like King just lifted. To try and break up the run of 7 Hawthorne. See what King's got going out the rear view. Look at this gaggle. Holy cow. Goes up to block the 18. Saws the 27 to the inside. "21 laps left in this one." King is blocking like his life depends on it right now. I would not be surprised if he got driven through in the final few laps. Here comes a 47 back. Hawthorne hits pit road. So does Heyman. Sherry maybe as well? Yes. The 8 also on the pit lane. Could that be the move that wins them the race? Barnes needs a little bit longer pit stop because of the fuel situation. 3 wide squeeze down the back. I think Barnes trying to get to pit road here. Going to be right on the edge on fuel, I think. Not this time. King into the door of the 47. I know there's no door. I know there's side pods, but this might be the time with the 27 on pit road. Is going to fake to the bottom or get to the bottom of King here. Does Barnes pit? Late exit? No. Still a couple more laps out here. He has the worst fuel as far as laps run on fuel. He's 35. Make that 36 now. Everyone around him 31 laps on the tank. Keep up with the other drivers. Hawthorne and Heyman battle it out because Sherry lost about 5 seconds out of that. I'm not sure what happened to him. 5-6 seconds on that sequence. Just really slow into the box. About 4 seconds slower. than the drivers he went on pit road with. That's not going to get the job done. Under 20 left. Top 7 have to pit. Top 6 in this main group all the way back to Corey Kobe. Should see the 27 in first, whenever that happens to be. I think you want to pit with somebody else to be able to slingshot and try and make up time. I don't know if you want more than one driver to pit with you, though. That's the thing. If you look at the lap times, fastest car on the racetrack right now is Devin Curl, and it's not particularly close. And Curl is working with Hawthorne and Heyman. Still no pit stop for Barnes. Zachary King having one of his best races in his Mystic Racing League career. Former Daytona winner in the Caswell Glass National Series. Putting on a show with former 3-time champion Christian Barnes on the NASCAR side. Won them all last year at Homestead. And I think Barnes is now hitting pit road here. King had to slam on the brakes to avoid him. Got a great entry, though. Yeah, legal for both those drivers. Great pit entries. Battle for the lead now between Bernashez, Stellard, and Kime, as they all have to pit to make it to the end of the race on fuel. If they go as far as Barnes, they got 5 more laps to pit, which will put them within the final 10 to the end of this one. Here comes Bernashez. Hands the lead back to Stellard, Kime, and Kobe. Stellard, who started second, haven't really said his name much. Caught up in an accident. Used a fast repair. But showing up when it matters the most. And here, thought he was going to pit there. Chose not to. Kime's on pit road. That's going to leave 5 drivers yet to pit. And make that 3 now. Stellard, Kobe, Addison. Caution is out. Caution's out. That changes everything. Most of the field trapped a lap down. Where was the caution? Jaden Walker, maybe? Yes, it was Jaden Walker. Back one more time. Should be about a lap after this. So Walker with 7. Curl, Heyman. Shootout under 10 laps. Oh, what happened to King? King almost crashed on the backstretch. Oh, is that where the incident? Oh, that's where the incident happened. Walker tried to get around King, who slowed off the racetrack. He hit the apron and spun him around. Well, that's on series of unfortunate events, I would say. Who it's really unfortunate for, Stellard and Kobe, who had the strategy with the less fuel to take, still have to pit. Everyone else gets their spot, gets their lap back via the wave around. Unless one of these 3 does the very bold thing and decides to stay out. I would not expect that, but hey, I've been surprised before. Stellard will bring it down. Kobe will bring it down. Go to Addison. Addison brings it down too. So that will give everybody a shot to get back on the lead lap. Everyone should get their spots back here shortly. Kime's on pit road as well. I'm not really sure why. Does he just pit? Maybe put tires on it, potentially. The benefit for these drivers is that they should restart 1 through 4. And they should have fresh tires to boot. Where everyone else is, that are a little bit older, don't know how much tires really matter to them. I don't think it's a ton. But an advantage is an advantage. Stellard's going to win the race off pit road. Kobe behind him. Addison Kime will be your top 4. Barnes will be the first car to get the wave around in 5th. Look at all the drivers waiting to get that wave around. Goodness gracious. So timing worked out not too bad for your top 4. Question is, would the strategy have worked staying out later? Hard to say. Some more housekeeping. 12 on the lead lap. Now back to Mason Mitchum in 12th. Jaden Walker 2 laps down after the damage. Willard is 18 laps down, still on pit road after a while. Holston, Hubbard, and Marcamini are out of the race. Look at your 17-car field. Devin Lyons never did start the race tonight. Should see Heyman. There we go. Drivers now allowed around the pace car. Kime with a meatball. What happened to Reggie Kime under pacing? And Christian Barnes, black flag. Christian Barnes into the back of Reggie Kime. That's what gave him the meatball. Barnes with an illegal pit entry after getting the wave around. What a change of events. Oh my goodness. Does Kime know he has a meatball? He has to know he has a meatball flag, but how's that car going to launch on the restart? We going back racing with 8 laps to go. I don't think that 9's going to go anywhere. There's Heyman and company behind him. Hawthorne, Curl. Got to keep an eye on this 9. I don't know what to expect. Way below the apron here. Or way below the racing line, I should say. I don't know if he's letting guys out of the way. He has to be hitting pit road here. Yes, Kime is going to give up a top 5 spot to go fix the damage. And now Stellard's in the wall. For hopefully the final time tonight, we are back racing here at Auto Club. Near 4 wide back here. Addison in trouble. As Kobe and Stellard fight for the lead, but it won't be long until Hawthorne, Curl, and Heyman are all up on him. Hawthorne at the racetrack in front of Curl? No, decides against it. Curl had the lift. Here comes King beside his teammate. Heyman way to the outside in front of Hawthorne. Kime now back on the racetrack. He did not go a lap down, but he's right in front of the field. King up the hill. All the usual suspects up at the front of the field. Stellard leads over Kobe, Heyman, Hawthorne, and Mitchum for the first time today back in the top 5. Won the pole, haven't said his name other than that. And being involved in the accident right about here on the backstretch. We fan out. Many cars wide, coming back to 5 laps to go. Remember, no overtimes. No green-white checkers. If we get a caution within the final 3 or 4 laps, that will be it. Mitchum, aggressive move. through the middle. And the pole sitter, for the first time today, is going to get back to the lead. Where does Hawthorne go? Has to go to the top. Can't go to the bottom. Teammates down there. Teammate of Mitchum anyway, as they catch the slower Reggie Kime. And King is blocking up a storm. I think he was building a treehouse back there with all the blocks he's throwing. Kime has slid into traffic. Mitchum now well out front. 4 laps remain. Curl, crossover. Gets alongside Hawthorne. Through the middle, the hole open for him. Devin Curl's going to lead a lap, at least into 1 for the moment. Will clear off the corner, the reckon Kime's wrecked again. Heyman's crashing. Do we see a caution? No. Mitchum to the way high side of the racetrack. Trying to get that monster run. Caution is out. That will do it. Devin Curl is likely going to win here in Auto Club. I don't know where that second caution would have been. Wait, hold on. Hold up. All right, Curl should get that spot back. Let's go see what happened here. So that's when the caution happened. Jaden Walker potentially. 49 have another moment here? I don't think so. We'll check out that Kime Heyman incident here in a moment as well, but that didn't trigger the caution. It had to be something else. It's like Walker's just doing his thing. Oh my goodness, that's Reggie Kime stopped middle of the racetrack. That's what the caution was. That is incredibly frustrating for a league admin to just leave it parked on the racetrack like that. So contact with King started it, and then Kime just did nothing. And that right there, right out the coffin. Yeah, that's a lot of words for it, but none of them are nice. And Devin Curl has to pace one more time around to go collect a win this season. 7 Hawthorne will be second, and Mason Mitchum will round out your podium. We'll speak with those 3 once this race concludes. Stellard will finish 4th from his 2nd place starting spot. Bernachez in 5th, Barnes in 6th spot, Kasheri 7th, King in 8th, Corey Kobe finishes in 9th, Addison in 10th, Heyman, Walker, Kime, and Willard, the final cars running. One mile left. It's not nearly as exciting when you know what's going to happen, is it? Through turns 3 and 4. And Devin Curl is about to play capture the flag. Yellow and checker flags will be presented to your winner tonight from the world's fastest parking lot. In Auto Club Speedway, Devin Curl is going to bring it home under caution to win here at Auto Club. Spent a lot of this race just biding his time. The seas parted with a couple laps to go. He made a move up the middle. The caution came out in that same corner. Devin Curl is going to get the job done here in Auto Club. Let's watch some post-victory burnouts and then get down to your results. Zachary King showing his teammates some love. There it is. Oh, and that'll pass Tech. Burn it down, Devin Curl. You earned it tonight. Now to your results. After 130 laps here at Auto Club, here's how it went down. Devin Curl's going to get the job done from third. 7 Hawthorne. Dominant car all day finishes in second. Mason Mitchum, quiet night in third for the 3. Stellard up to fourth. Bernachez will finish in the 5th position. Christian Barnes, biggest mover of the day. He's plus 8 positions. Will finish in 6th. Gasheri finishes in 7th. King, wild day, finishes 8th spot. Corey Kobe, quiet night in 9th. Steven Addison, terrific run for top 10. 11th, Heyman, who crashed on the final lap with Kime. Walker finished 12th. Kime finishes in 13th. Brandon Willard, rough night, first car out of the race in the 14th spot. Adam Holston in 15th. Noah Hubbard will finish 16th tonight. Mark Amini ran a few laps tonight, will finish 17th. Devin Lyons never did start the race. But now let's interview your top 3. Starting off with your race winner, Devin Curl. Devin Curl, Morgan up in the booth, you got a copy.
Hey, man, I'm talking to you again.
Yeah, isn't that something? This one, though, I don't think was quite what you were expecting the way you got up here. The seas sure parted for you. Couple laps to go, didn't they? Why don't you walk me through that kind of section of the race?
Yeah, the last few laps were really hectic. Honestly, I was hoping we didn't have that last caution. I think we were set up pretty good there. Well, I mean, I guess the last 2 cautions really, but we were set up pretty good there. Had a good pit strategy. Got back with a few cars, so we were in the draft, and it was looking pretty good. But come 3, 4 to go, I actually thought I was in a really bad spot because I restarted and it got shuffled back by quite a few cars by getting chopped off coming out of the corners and just having to lift for them with the aero wash. But I don't know, maybe I had better tires than those guys, or maybe they only took fuel under the green, but I was able to just burp the throttle a little bit going into the corners and just run the absolute apron and get by a lot of them and use the momentum on the straightaways. And when I went to pass for the lead, there was 2 side by side and there was just a big hole in the middle, so I figured I'd take it. And going down the back straightaway, I knew that I wanted to be on the bottom again because obviously I was running the best there, and if a car got in front of me, I wasn't gonna want to be behind their aero wash. And I went to the bottom there, and the caution came out, and that was that.
And that was that. And this was a race, I think, that different from a normal Devin Curl style race. You spent a lot of time kind of in the mid pack, near the back of the pack. Was that by design, waiting until the kind of halfway point to really make a charge, or was it just you trying to learn back there and see what this car would do? 'Cause it's a very different style than what you're used to.
I'd say it's a little bit of both. These cars are so twitchy. It's almost crazy how hard you have to hold the steering wheel just to keep the thing straight, especially with the bumps in the back straightaway here at Auto Club. Another part of it was just trying to time strategy. We were, on a different engine map there, trying to save fuel and reduce how much we were going to have to put in the car if we were going to pit under green, kind of like they do in the Cup Series. And unfortunately, none of those green pit stops ever fruition to matter. Like we did have one green flag pit stop, but that one would have set us up. But obviously the caution came up after that. So it was, a lot of learning, a lot of trying to stay out of wrecks, and a lot of fuel strategy.
Yeah, just how different is this style of racing? We talk about Auto Club. Obviously, you've driven this in the Cup car, I would imagine, or any of the NASCAR cars. Just how different is this style of racing to any other stock car any other stock car you've driven here? for the viewers at home?
Yeah, it's first off, you're going much faster. I mean, we're talking probably
Two,
30, 40
two,
miles an hour quicker.
220. Yeah, you're ripping.
And yeah, so you don't really notice the speed. I think the biggest thing, like I just mentioned, was the bumps down the back straightaway are absolutely horrendous, and in these cars it bounces you around a lot. So you got to hold the wheel hard and straight, and the more that you hold it hard, the better like you can keep the tires from jerking around on you and losing speed. The other thing is in the Cup cars, you can usually probably run 3, 4 wide here and pick your lane, not necessarily to prevent getting behind somebody's air. I mean, in the Cup car, yeah, but not so much the other two vehicles, the O'Reilly car and the truck. But in this car, you have to. I mean, either you're going to be behind somebody or you're going to lift. You're going to lift behind somebody or you're going to find your own lane. And in the Cup car, you can kind of like let off, go your own lane, save your tires, do whatever you want. There's so many lanes here. This track, everything was blocked pretty much, and it was like running a super speedway. So hopefully that made sense. But basically, this is a super speedway in an IndyCar, and it's hard to do anything.
Well, you did just enough to get the job done tonight with the caution aiding you there right at the end to lock the field there with 3 laps to go. But Devin, I ask you every time, and you give me the same answer every time, but I still have to ask you, who do you want to thank and who do you want to shout out for another race win here on V-Speed, the Mystic Racing League?
Well, I'll keep it the same for one part. I do want to thank my wife. But in this series, I'm actually running with a few different guys here. I'm running for Meatball Ideal Motorsports, and I'd like to thank the sponsors that they have: Gilbert's Fleet, Advanced Work Vans, Gin Blossoms Designs, K1 Speed, and Ideal Pest LLC.
All right, there you go. Devin Curl, your winner again here. Another trip to Sofa News Victory Lane here on V-Speed, the Mystic Racing League. Congratulations. We'll see you next time out, probably tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See you.
All right. Now we move on to second place here. Seven Hawthorne, Morgan up in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you loud and clear.
All right. P2 here today for what was probably the fastest and definitely the most aggressive car out here at Auto Club. How much fun were you having out there?
I was having quite a bit of fun, but I mean, with these cars, you just, you take a big run and get out in the lead, and then, it doesn't matter. The person's on, feel like 50 lap old tires, they just drive back on you. So it was kind of hard to kind of pick and choose what runs to take or not tonight. And I knew that was going to be a problem at the end there, but just pretty disappointed with how the race ended. I would have loved to see it go green. I think we definitely would have had a shot. So to have it enter the yellow and be forced to settle with second and come up short again is definitely frustrating. But we'll take the points and we'll move on to Belief Barbers next week.
Yeah, you had a shot at it, and that really the decisive move, the one that gave Curl the win, was down in the turn 1. You were on his outside. They were too wide in front of you guys, and for some reason, they left the middle open. He drove right to the middle. You were blocked on the high side and ended up having to make the pass later through the corner, couldn't quite get back to him. Was there anything you could have done on that setup lap before they got to that point to potentially put yourself in different situation?
Crashed him. Now I'm just messing around. There wasn't really nothing you can do there. It's just the air is, I mean, for everyone watching, the dirty air is just so terrible in these things. So if you run even half a lane and someone's arrow behind them, you just plow up the track and have to get out of the gas. So it really ruins you for about a lap and a half because it's so momentum based here. If you lift at all, it's just like you hit a brick wall. So just the wrong place, wrong time again. And yeah, I mean, I probably could have been a little more aggressive, maybe some crazier moves and shot it maybe on the apron down the front stretch or went high, but my options seemed really limited, especially with how the car was tonight, and I probably would have ended up crashed. So I decided to weigh out my options and took a second place tonight. So just happy to have the speed to contend for these, and if we keep putting it together, we'll eventually get a win.
I would agree. You've been one of the mainstays up at the front all season long. Another great run here tonight. And Well, we got you up here. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a second place run here at Auto Club?
Well, I want to thank my family and friends for watching. Once again, I was getting tired of saying this, but sorry couldn't get the win tonight, and we'll build and be stronger at Barber next week.
All right, congrats, Seven, on second spot. We'll see you next time out.
Thank you.
Now on to your third place finisher this evening, Mason Mitchum. Mason, Morgan from the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, quiet night for the pole sitter. Obviously, we're the fastest car in qualifying. Didn't spend a ton of time up at the front. I noticed on a lot of these restarts, the leader fell back pretty quickly to like fifth or sixth spot. Was there something to that, or was that just kind of the way the race played out all night?
Yeah, I think if you lead the race, then you're doing it wrong in a race like this because it's 130 laps. You always got to be thinking about how to save gas because you want to go as long as possible, make your last pit stop or whatever pit stop you want to make. You make it to where you can overcut everybody and theoretically run away. But yeah, that's just the only reason why. You don't get anything from staying up front.
Yeah, it makes sense. I figured it was calculated. I mean, I know you're savvy enough with these cars, and clearly you on the pole, so you know how to pilot them, that it made sense to run at the back and save that fuel. And you look like you had a shot to have the strategy work at the end there. A few quick cautions kind of shuffled everything up. But how'd you get up to third in the final 20 or so laps?
I think it's just honestly, it just comes down to speed difference, right? Like a lot of these people probably aren't super used to the car, and I race it all the time, so I just knew at any point in time. I ran the race in map 5, just saving gas pretty much the entire race long. And once I put it into map 1, I knew I could get past them. The problem is, once you get to the front of the field, you aren't going to be able to use that anymore because, it's just a draft race. And then it kind of just came down to the caution. I was trying to set up the two so that way on lap 129, they get out ahead of me. And then I pass them on the backstretch, run the bottom in turn 3, 4. Get to the apron. There's nothing anyone can do. But the caution came out. It is what it is. That's just the way it works sometimes. So, well, right.
Yeah, that is exactly the way it happens here at Auto Club. And is there anything throughout the race, anything that sticks out in your mind you could have done different, or you want to go back and redo to have a better shot at putting yourself in position to win this thing?
Not particularly. There's really you can't predict when a caution is going to happen, and I was ready to do what I had to do. I just think that in a races like this, it's just like stay alive, get to the end. There's so many cautions and things because and it's not to bash anybody. It's just people that aren't used to the car. I totally get it. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm just here to have fun, right? Like it's just what it's all about. To do these road courses and get better at road courses, and then do the ovals kind of on the side just for fun. So that's kind of what we're here for, to get better. Me and John, who's on my team as well. So, yep. I think at the end of the day, you can't predict caution, so I don't think I would have changed much of anything.
Yeah, understood. And well, we got you up here another time this season. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for a top 3 finish? This time at the world's fastest parking lot.
Yeah. So John Stellard out here on my team. VRL. We're a pretty up and coming team. We've been around for a while, making some waves in a lot of leagues and things like that. And I'm just happy he's out here on the team with me today, and we're having fun, talking through strategies and what we should do in every situation. And races like this kind of allow you to think things through. And in case what would happen, what could happen, what will happen ain't always the same thing. But yeah, I'm thankful he's out here with me. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad I have a friend on the track, and fun league out here. Mystic is interesting. I like to see how it starts right now. I'd like to see where it gets to maybe in a year or two. I think as people start to, come in here and develop this league out, and people can start seeing how the car runs. So I think it has some time to get to where it needs to go. I'll definitely talk to him and kind of give some suggestions what happens. But I think he's putting on a good league. So yeah, I think going well. That's all I got today, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right. Well, congrats on third spot. We'll see you next time out. Thanks for your time.
Yep.
That is third place finisher Mason Mitchum. And that will wrap it up for us here for the Mystic Racing League and their KAYTEE IndyCar Series. 260 miles here in Auto Club Speedway, the California 260. It was a fun one. A little bit of everything. Green flag pit stops, almost finished the cycle. Had a lot of cautions, some great 2, 3, sometimes even 4 wide racing. Definitely one to remember, but make sure you catch us same time, same place right here on V-Speed 1 week from today, where you can catch the next round of KAYTEE IndyCar Series in all of its glory. But for everyone at V-Speed who makes this thing possible, for Dougie Beard for providing cameras, I've been your host, producer Morgan Cook. See you next time, right here on V-Speed.